Hey guys, Pastor Ace here from Calvary Fellowship. We are rolling right along with Holy Week leading up to Resurrection Sunday. And as I mentioned yesterday, we are going to take some time each day to post some content talking about what we believe Jesus said and did on each of the corresponding days leading up to his arrest and, of course, his crucifixion and resurrection. As a quick reminder, the scriptures I'll be referring to, I'll post them either in the description box below or above, depending on what platform you are viewing this video. So, of course, this is Tuesday, and normally what we believe that Jesus did was, first of all, was the disciples noticing the fig tree. If you guys remember yesterday, I mistakenly had said that the disciples noticed the cursed fig tree at the end of Monday, when actually it was the beginning of Tuesday. Jesus and his disciples, they're walking back into Jerusalem. They noticed the fig tree that Jesus had cursed the day before because it did not produce any figs, and they noticed how it had withered. Now, the rest of the day, Jesus, or most of the day, I should say, Jesus is spending in the temple, teaching and preaching. And, of course, every time he teaches and preaches, there are always religious leaders from the Sanhedrin and the Pharisees who are challenging his authority. Jesus begins to tell some parables that are essentially reminding us just how spiritually dead the Pharisees and the Sanhedrin are. They were so into themselves, they were so into the laws and the traditions and the outward appearance that they couldn't recognize the Messiah who was sitting right in front of them, the Messiah that they claimed that they had studied up on their entire lives. In fact, in Matthew chapter 23, Jesus calls them whitewashed tombs. In other words, what he's saying is this: yeah, you know what? Sometimes a tomb can look pretty. A little grave mark might look pretty, but what's really on the inside? It's just death. That's all there is. And he's saying, as good as you guys look on the outside, I know on the inside you are spiritually dead. Now, towards the end of the day, he goes to the Mount of Olives, where he has what is called the Olivet Discourse. During that time, he is prophesying about the destruction of Jerusalem and that their time would soon be coming. And, of course, they would go back to Bethany at the end of the day. I think the biggest thing that I take away from all of this, it kind of piggybacks off of what we talked about yesterday. See, Jesus was showing us on Monday that as much as he loves us, as much as he came to die on the cross for our sins, he also died for us so that we could live better lives, so that we could act more like him, treat people in the way that he treated us. And so he's very, very concerned about our inner spiritual state. He's reminding us, hey, it doesn't matter how long you've been in church. It doesn't matter how well you know the Bible. What really matters is, how do you love people? What's going on in your heart? What's going on in your mind? See, it didn't matter how much the Pharisees knew, how much the Sanhedrin knew, how much power they had, or how much respect they had, or how respected they were in their communities. They weren't loving people like Christ loved them, right? So keep that in mind as we go throughout the rest of Holy Week. You know what? The best way to have a genuine heart and to avoid being described as a whitewashed tomb, as the Pharisees were, is to love people, to treat people as Jesus loved and treated us. God bless you all. We'll see you tomorrow.